Good morning, Olathe West students. Today we are going to be doing some ACT math prep. Before getting started, I want to remind any juniors or sophomores out there, if you're looking at getting some serious ACT prep, getting ready for that ACT exam, think about joining Mrs. Ortman and Mr. Flynn first hour next semester. Title of the course is College Readiness Skills. Go to your counselor and sign up if you would like to. There's plenty of spots available. Another quick reminder, students, make sure to mute your computers. Teacher, turn the volume up on your computer and project the Edpuzzle on the TV. Now, every week for math, what we're going to do is we're always going to go back over in the beginning of the math things that we had done before. So you've got 2 questions to do based on the things we did last time in math. Here's your first one. Okay. Again, if we read closely, always find the question mark and go backwards, right? That's the technique we want to do. So we know what we're trying to answer. And this question wants to know how many different lunches are possible. This is a counting question. Looks like we have 4 things. We have a sandwich. We have soups. We have salad, and we have drinks. If we read carefully, we'll see that there's 4 sandwich choices, 2 soup choices, 2 salad choices, and 2 drink choices. We multiply those out together, and we get our answer of 32, right? That's what we spent time last week doing. Second question is for you to do on probability. Here it is. Okay, this question, again, if we go backwards from the question mark to see what it is we are trying to answer, the question says, what is the probability that the sector for this dart hits is not blue? So that means we're trying to hit this region here. Now that region looks like it's more than 50%, which means I can safely eliminate those 3 choices just by looking at this. Now, they do tell us what the areas are in a ratio of, right? A ratio of, let's see here, the first one is red, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, probability is equal to the target divided by the total. Now, our target are those 3 numbers added together, which are 7. The total would be all the numbers together, which is 10. So our answer is 7 out of 10. Okay, let's go on to some new material. And the first bit is writing equations. Generally speaking, it seems like ACT really wants to make sure people are getting paid correctly. So this one we'll do together. The next one you'll do. Again, with reading, always go backwards from the question mark to know what it is you're trying to answer. Want to know how many hours did he work? How many hours did Sam work? Well, if we look at this, it looks like Sam gets $12 an hour for the first 40 hours. So for the first 40, he gets $12. And then he gets 18 per hour for every additional hour he works. So then he gets $18 for doing extra work over 40 hours a week. And they're saying that he earned a total of $570. Well, what we could do is they're providing answers for us. Let's first think about if Sam had worked, say, 40 hours for the whole week. 12 times 40. Now, when we do that, that's going to give me a total of $480. And the thing is, Sam's getting $570. So he's got to be working more than 40 hours. So I'm going to eliminate those choices. Again, it's down to a 50-50. Well, let's guess that he worked a total of 45 hours, which means he would have worked 5 hours extra. Well, when we do the math, it does wind up to be 570. So our answer is J. 45 hours. Again, use the answers to help you figure out what to do. Okay, the next question is yours. Okay, this is a similar deal as the last one. Asked a little differently. They want to know how much would he earn for working 56 hours. Well, again, we're told 12 hours for 40 hours of work. So $12 for 40 hours of work. Then, for each hour over 40, gets paid 1.5 times his regular pay. Well, if they're working 56 hours, right? That would mean that's a total of 16 extra hours. Now, normally, we're getting $12 an hour, but it says 1.5 times as much. So we're going to times that by 1.5. Type this into our calculator. We wind up with $768, letter H. Okay, not only do you want to make sure you're getting paid correctly, you want to make sure that you're paying your loans correctly and knowing how to work all that. If we look at the question mark and go backwards, we want to know what's the amount of her monthly payments. So there's a couple ways to do this. Monthly payments. Well, it says that she made an initial payment of $700, and then she made 36 equal monthly payments. So I'm seeing that thinking 36 times X, right? 36 times how much you're making each month. Now, she did make a payment of $700 as well, and that total is $7,000. Now, when we solve for X, we will get 175, which is letter B. Now, there's another way to think about it. You could, it's really the same idea. You could think about the $7,000 that she owes for the car, and she pays $700 for that, which gives us $6,300. And then if we divide that by the 36 payments, we'll still get 175. Really, this is the equation being solved, but some people kind of like doing it like this instead. Totally up to you. All right, next question is yours. All right. Now this one we got to be careful. I know it says it's question 8, but this one's a bit of a stinker. Going backwards, we see that we want to know how much more than the car's purchase price, right? The total of all of his payments, including the down payment, was how much more than the car's purchase price. Well, let's read. It says including the down payment. So we paid $1,500 for down payment and then got a loan for the rest of the purchase price. It says Jamal paid off the loan by making 36 payments of $200 each. So if I add to this 36 payments of $200 each, we will see 8700. Now, be careful, okay? I know I see it there. That's not what this question's asking. Again, the reading said, how much more than the car's purchase price? Well, Jamal paid $8,700, but the car was only $6,400. So if we subtract those, we'll see how much more it was, which is letter G. So please be careful on these. It's really easy to circle the wrong answer when you're working these out. Okay, now sometimes they also want you to write equations on the ACT, right? You all saw that a lot. Reading this, going from our question mark backwards, so we know what it is we're trying to figure out. Which of the following expressions gives Christopher's earnings in dollars when he works X hours and has Y dollars in sales? So works, so the hours plus how much he makes in sales. H-O-U-R-S, right. Well, it says he earns $7.50 an hour. So, and we're told that hours are X and sales are Y. So I think I might do 7.5x plus. Now I'm going to pause there and look, get rid of these choices. Now the sales, 6% of his sales, so plus 6% of y. Now you got to remember, I don't see 6% of y here, but the percent sign, isn't that really 0.06y? So it should be letter K. Okay, next question is for you to do. All right, reading here, going backwards from the question marks, we know what it is we're asked. H represents the handicap of a bowler, and A represents his average score. Which of the following gives H in terms of A? Well, I might need to read some more here. Local bowling league establishes handicap for those who have an average of 200 or less as, here it is, 75% of the difference between 200 and the bowler's average score. So the handicap's going to be 75% of the difference, right? Difference means subtracting. Difference between 200 and the bowler's average. Well, 75% is 0.75. We know of means to multiply. And the average, we're told, is A. Well, we look at the choices. Choice E is the one that is there. Okay, one more question for you to do. All right. Going backwards from the question mark. It says, which of the following equations represents the profit they will make on B batches of cookies? Well, business teachers will tell you profit is always equal to your revenue minus how much it costs, right? Business classes. Now, if I'm looking at here, there's a couple costs. $4 for ingredients to make each batch. So 4B, because B is a batch of cookies. Also, $50 to buy a mixer. Now the revenue, how much money are they going to get in? They decide to sell the cookies for $5 a batch, so 5B. So profit equals the revenue minus the cost. I do not see that as a choice, but I do know that 5B minus 4B is just 1B, and a minus 50 is minus 50. And of those choices, I see that the choice is E. Great. Talk to your business teachers about this one. It's a great question to do. All right. Thank you all very much. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something new. See you all next Tuesday.